What's going on, people? It's your boy Rebirth, and I just came home from watching Bleach movie 4 in the theaters, and so I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about my experience, I want to talk about what happened, and I also want to talk about the pre-screening, the pre-movie Q&A session between Johnny Yong Bosch and Mr. Proz D. And so, just starting from the top, the one thing that happens when you get there is they give you this really nice lanyard. Am I saying that right? I never know how to say it, but basically this right here, which is pretty cool. I'm happy, I'm content that I got this because I'm not able to find a lot of Bleach merch. It was very hard to get what you see back here, and even the fact that like what's back here is not even Bleach. It should be Bleach, but it's not. The moment the anime comes back, the moment I can replace that, Luffy and Co, they're going down. I'm putting Bleach up there, but I do like this. I have to wear something like this to work, and I would love to have a Bleach one, so now I do. It's just the Ichigo key visual, the first one we got with the new Bleach logo, 1000 Year Blood War Viz. So this is the first thing that they give you. Once I went in there weren't a lot of people in there. Probably maybe you'd be lucky if there were 20 of us, which in some ways is unfortunate, but in others it's not so unfortunate, because I think the way some of the decisions Viz has been making has been very questionable. I know they did use the Bleach key visual, the latest key visual that we the latest key visual that we got for the Bleach 1000 Year Blood War anime is the poster that they used. I'll put it up on screen so you see what I'm talking about. And so the first thing that happens is we got the pre-movie Q&A session between Johnny Yong Bosch and Mr. Proz D. Now look, okay, so let me do this properly, okay? I don't know this individual. I've never watched his content, and before he was named to be doing this, I didn't even know who he was. I don't know who he is. I know the tweets that surface, based on his opinion on Bleach and a couple other things. But even if I didn't know anything about him coming in, he did not give a demeanor of someone who knows Bleach. He did not appear to be someone who enjoyed Bleach. He did not appear to someone who was in love with Bleach, excited to be there with Ichigo's voice actor, or someone who was excited for the anime that's coming. That's the first thing. It does not matter what he said in the past. For me watching it, because again, I don't know this guy. I know nothing about him. All I know going in is apparently he said some things about Bleach, whatever. Just judging him based on that interview alone, and his interaction with Johnny and his chemistry with Johnny, I'm like, this dude doesn't really like Bleach. The first thing that they do is they react to 2 Bleach episodes. Well, really, they react to 3 main scenes. I don't know the episode number, but they react to the battle Ichigo's Bankai versus Byakuya Kuchiki at the end of the Soul Society arc. They watch that. Well, not all of it, just clips from it. And then they watch when Ichigo saves Rukia by destroying the Sogyoku. And then they show Mugetsu Ichigo versus Aizen. Those are the 3 main scenes, and then you have the Q&A session, which I'll talk about in a second. So the first thing, Ichigo versus Byakuya. It was very strange because this Proz D individual he refers to, Byakuya Senbon Zakura as pink things. He's like, what are these pink things that he's using? And then Johnny's the one who corrects him to say, cherry blossoms or whatever. He asks Johnny what it was like to be recorded in the studio. Johnny gives him the usual answer. Johnny was nice to see, by the way. It's always nice to see Johnny Yong Bosch. He's great. I love him as Ichigo. I love him in all the other stuff. He's great. All right, it's really the other guy who I'm like, why are you here? You don't feel like you should be here. Then, it was, Ichigo destroying the Sogoku again. That was cool. Johnny made a joke about wanting to learn how to do that. They had a little bit of banter. It wasn't really hitting. The jokes weren't really hitting. I don't think they had good chemistry, honestly. The vibe wasn't there. And then you get to probably like the most embarrassing of it all. They switched to Ichigo versus Aizen. And this brother, Proz D, asks Johnny, who's that? Who's Ichigo fighting? And Johnny's like, oh, that's Aizen. And I'm like, you don't know who Aizen is? Like, it's Ichigo versus Aizen. You don't know who Aizen is. If you want to be nice about it, which I can understand if you want to be, it was Aizen in his final form. It was Aizen after the Hogoku had taken over, like the 3rd time or so. So it was him when his face is smushed to the side. Look, if you want to be nice about it, sure, I can let it slide. But the fact of the matter is, you have been commissioned to come to a pre-screening process or a pre-movie Q&A session with Johnny Yong Bosch. I would have expected this individual to at least do his homework. I would have, and this might be more so on the production value of what they recorded, because they were in the same room. It wasn't like a Zoom thing or recorded at different times. They were in the same room together. Even if he had made the mistake, I don't see why it's so problematic to just correct him. That's Aizen. But the fact that they didn't care about the fact that this dude doesn't even know who Aizen is, the big bad of the Bleach verse for majority of the series. You don't even know that's him in their penultimate fight, especially in the situation where you knew going in what was coming. You could have brushed up on Bleach. You could have looked at the important moments. You could have looked at the right characters. You could have looked at what to refer to the abilities are. The fact that there seemed to be so little preparation going into it, making blatant mistakes about the lore, very basic things. It's like, my girlfriend will tell you who that was. If you show that to my girlfriend, and she doesn't even watch Bleach. Sure, yo, who's this? Oh, that's Aizen. Yeah, even she knows. How do you not know who Aizen is? It's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. And it paints a bad look for Viz. It paints a bad look for Bleach. It paints a bad look for everyone, because it's just, I don't know, man. That was embarrassing. It was. So then you have the main Q&A section, because the first part was just them reacting to Bleach episodes and talking about it. Then you get to the second part, which was the Q&A session. So I believe the first question that was asked was how long ago did you read Bleach, or what was your experiences when you first read Bleach, something to that effect. And it surprised me to come to the conclusion that he actually never answered. He never answered the question as to when you read Bleach or what was it like when you first read Bleach. He actually never answered. He just masterfully, and I'll give him credit for that, he masterfully deflects and plugs in Viz. You can sign up to Viz for $1.99 to be able to read all of Bleach for just, almost $2. He just plugged that in and actually never answered. And also let it slip, if you want to call it that. I don't think they cared. Well, I don't think he cared, but he did let it slip that he hasn't read the 1,000 Year Blood War manga. And I know some people might feel like just because you haven't read the 1,000 Year Blood War manga doesn't mean that you're not a Bleach fanatic. That's fair. I can understand that perspective if you weren't being reserved for this very special moment. The fact of the matter is, this isn't something that's just happening 2 years after Bleach Hell first came out in 2010. This is something that's coming out before the anime returns this October. This is not some simple event, or at least it shouldn't have been. It ended up being that for all these reasons, but this isn't just nothing. This is very important. We're building to the return of Bleach. That's a very big deal, or at least it should be a big deal. And so the fact that you have not read the 1,000 Year Blood War manga, to me, makes you look like you're less of a fan. Now, I know that might rub people the wrong way, and I do understand. Just because you haven't read the 1,000 Year Blood War manga doesn't mean that you're not a Bleach fan. I understand that. But within this context, because you've chosen someone who doesn't cover Bleach, who when he's covered Bleach has said negative things about it, who doesn't even know the most basic elements of the story, and also seemingly hasn't even read all of it, let alone the 1,000 Year Blood War manga, it's not professional. It's just not professional, and I'm not a fan of it. And look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's the way it came off. That's the way it seemed to me. And that's just a fact. Unfortunately, it's just a fact. I think they dropped the ball big time. Big time. They asked Johnny and them, they discussed, what are you excited about Bleach coming back? Johnny spoke about how he's excited it's almost like Bleach is him coming home, because Bleach is home for him, which was very nice of Johnny to say. Again, Johnny's always a pleasure to watch. I mean, he's great, honestly. It's the other guy who I'm like, bro, what? Who are you? Why am I looking at you talking about Bleach? You shouldn't be talking about Bleach. It's not your position. It's not your place. You don't deserve this position. And even the fact that you probably got paid for your services, you could have at least looked at it professionally and done your homework. You could have at least done that. You wouldn't even do that much. It's just embarrassing. Like, it just is. So anyway, so that's with the That's everything for the pre-movie part. After that, the movie starts. When the movie starts, they show you the anime filler, if you want to call it, the prologue to the Hell chapter. They show you that with Rukia, Renji fighting against the leech guy from early Bleach, whatever. Look, honestly, the only good thing, because to me there are three things about this that made it worth the $15 to $17 that I paid. The first was this thing right here. This was worth it. All right, I would have paid $20 to get this. That's how much I'm willing to pay for Bleach merchandise. I'm not kidding. So first of all, yeah, there we go. That was the first thing. The second thing was seeing Johnny. Always great to see Johnny. Always enjoyable. The third thing, I want to say that's the most important thing. The most important thing is this right there. But the third thing was hearing Ranbuno melody in a theater sound system. That was legit. That I liked. All right. Hearing Ranbu, because they played the opening, Bleach opening 13. I love that opening. I think it's Bleach's best opening. To hear that in the theaters was amazing. I loved it. It sounded so good. I was like, you know what, bro? Bring Bleach back. I can't wait to hear the opening that Taguchi Go Gucci has in store for me. I can't wait. My Taguchi agenda lives, and it's gonna keep living. All right. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Tomohito Taguchi, and we're gonna be pushing that agenda all the way into the end of the Blood War and beyond. And I can't wait to see that. So it was really, really special for me to see Bleach opening 13 in a theater sound system. It sounded so clear, so heavy. The sounds, I was like, yes, this was awesome. So there we have it. And then the movie, honestly, I left before the movie was over. I left before the movie was over because, I mean, do you know how many times I've watched Bleach movie 4? Are you kidding me? I've watched that movie, well, not hundreds of times, tens of times, maybe 20s of times. I've watched it plenty. There was nothing that was there that I wasn't necessarily excited to see. I enjoyed seeing Ichigo versus Ulquiorra, Vascular Ichigo versus Ulquiorra on the big screen. That was amazing. I think it was animated by Shinri Kurita, something like that. I'm not too sure, but that was great. It was nice to see. Honestly, maybe this is the position for me to give you my general thoughts on Bleach movie 4. In a general sense, those who want to go, that's fine. But if you want to know my general thoughts on Bleach movie 4, you can stick around because I never made a video on it. Bleach movie 4 for me is lacking heavily in storytelling, cohesive storytelling. It's not very good as a story. I never really liked it. The introduction of all these, and again, I know anime does this. We got to introduce people for Uryu and Rukia and Ko to fight. I get that. And even the Shuren guy, they were just so passable, like literally passable. Kokuto was good. Kokuto and Ichigo's dynamic, I could buy that. He is the villain. I could have bought that. It would have been better if they just centered the whole thing around them too, instead of the, I guess, fake out, if you will. I wasn't really, and then by fake out, I don't mean Kokuto turning. I rather mean the fact that it appeared that those, like Shuren and Ko, were the bad guys, but they were just bodies so that the team could have fights of their own. There were other ways to do it. But the good thing about Bleach movie 4 is I think that Bleach movie 4 is probably Shirasagusu's magnus opus when it comes to Bleach. He's made other great musical scores for the Bleach franchise, but Bleach movie 4 has the best collection of it. His score was amazing, and hearing that hearing Shirasagusu in a theater is great. That's a thumbs up. The direction by Noriyuki Abe, I think Noriyuki Abe, his interpretation of Bleach has never looked better than it did in Bleach movie 4. To me, Bleach movie 4 captures the tone of Bleach more so than anything Noriyuki Abe has ever done. I think Taguchi is going to be the best iterations of Bleach we'll see, and I'm looking forward to that. But for specifically Noriyuki Abe, I think the compositing specifically was really good. It was more than you'd get in your standard Bleach episode, but it was not so much that you'd be getting way too much information. I think it was good. The art was consistent, which is one thing about Bleach all the time. With other anime, you can tell the difference between Sakuga and standard because it's just such a high difference in quality. You can immediately see the Sakuga in it. But with Bleach, it's almost like when you get to Bleach Sakuga moments, it doesn't seem that different per se. It almost looks like everything looks even, which is indicative of the fact that most of the scenes are well drawn, most of the scenes are well animated. And so even the scenes that are super well animated, they look better, but not so much that you're like, oh my goodness, this is so much different, which you usually get in other shows. So that's just a testament to the Bleach team. It's also a testament to Kubo's designs, that they can look so intriguing, even though the animation may not be good at that time. And so to me, Bleach moving forward, it's not the greatest. The score and the animation and the presentation saves it, but its story elements is the weakest part of it all, personally. And I'm more interested to see what Kubo does with the Hell arc, Hell from the Jaws of Hell. I think Kubo will do it right himself. So anyway, that's the general consensus for my opinion on this experience. Overall, it's worth the $17-ish that I paid, because I got this so I can take it to work with me, and I got to hear Rambuno Melody in a theater sound system. That's enough for me. I enjoyed that. I really did. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you like the content, if you're interested to see my opinions on the Bleach anime when it drops, because I will be reviewing every single episode of Bleach when it happens and beyond, please do hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if anybody is even wondering, I don't think anybody is, but if you're wondering, I got nothing against this Mr. Proz D or whatever. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I don't care about him. And he probably doesn't care about me either, because again, I didn't even know this dude existed. And you know the thing? He probably didn't know people like us existed anyway. This is me going into it, my first experience, because I ain't seen any of his videos. My first experience seeing this individual, and that's my opinion. You may be good in whatever else you're doing, but when it comes to Bleach, you're sorely lacking, my friend. It's very evident. You were not fit to take that position. And I don't really care who takes that position. It could have been anyone. I'd have loved to see Tekken. I would have loved to see King. I'd have loved to see James. I'd have loved to see a lot of other people, but it's cool. It's not my choice. Viz, cool. Do your thing. But the fact of the matter is, you were clearly, from an unbiased, objective perspective, you were not fit to sit in that chair next to Mr. Johnny Yong Bosch. But you did. That's the way the world works. I hope you enjoyed your payday. I hope you enjoyed your experience. I hope it furthers your career, all that good stuff. But from my perspective, being a paying customer who paid money to see you with Johnny, I felt robbed. I felt robbed, but this merch and Rambuno Melody and seeing Johnny made up for it. And so I ended up leaving home happy. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And by the way, I just realized something. By the way, when it comes to Viz, and I really hope, I hope that Bleach fans aren't conned. One of the things that's been circulating in the community is like, is Bleach going to be simulcasted? And it just, one person made a comment on this, and I wish I could find his name, but essentially all he was saying is, just from the perspective of like Viz, every time Viz is promoting the Bleach anime, it says October 2022. As far as I'm concerned, Viz owns the licensing rights and whatever to Bleach in the West. So like Viz has the right to license and market and do whatever with Bleach in the West, not in Japan. I don't believe. If I'm wrong, I'm terribly sorry. But as far as I know, they get the rights over on our side. In Japan, they have whatever system they have going on. And so just from my perspective, just thinking about it here, Viz promotes like Bleach, anime, the trailers, the key visuals, all that stuff. And all of that says October 2022. And it just got me thinking, if Viz, who has the rights to Bleach in the West, is making these, I guess, marketing ploys or whatever, citing it as October 2022, and yet if Bleach goes to Disney, if it's not simulcasted, Viz looks like Viz looks really bad in that situation, because you've been marketing all along. All the posters say October 2022, and you're not showing it to the Japanese audience because you're in the West. You're showing it to us. And so if Disney does get the rights to Bleach and don't simulcast it, why have you been promoting it as October? Which it basically means you're setting expectations that fans should expect to be able to watch Bleach one way or another in October. If that's the case, you shouldn't have been, like, if that's the case and we don't get it, you shouldn't have been marketing Bleach as October 2022. You should have marketed it at whenever Disney or whoever would have released it. And so it makes me wonder, I don't have any inside information, guys. It makes me wonder if all along, let me not say all along. It does make me wonder if there's a higher chance that Bleach is simulcasted. Because if it's not, why are you promoting it as October if we're not going to get it in October? And it's like, Why are you telling it to us? We're the ones in the West. We're your only audience. The ones in Japan who might be definitely getting in October, they're not the ones you're talking to because they have their own market employees. Viz is for us in the West, and you're telling us that it's coming in October. So there must be something in place. Otherwise, why are you marketing this? You know, you guys get my point. All of you are smart. You're Kubology students. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next Rebirth video. If you enjoy this, please hit the like button, subscribe for more content, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next Rebirth video. It's your boy, signing off. Peace.